Ki ye phi khô a man tê se pra đa miên pra phia trong ra hào nâu bánh cha vạc ki phi khô chẳng lai còn ti nô ai tăng chân nâu phia san ni tha thuê mê phi khô vê an ta pháp ca chư tê nè nè se vi ta phia mà nè phi khô chẳng lai an ta thua cứ thua chia plau pra tê bát ông khang đò lia mua a cọ chẳng lai phi pra ca ni ba pa chân mình của sa công cứ tha mình của pra prân lai ca ta mê thuê an ta thua chẳng lai phi giang nô đôi mà đánh dô cha giang ca mê so ca ma so pha li ca nô yo cô thua na đai pra cọp luôn ở chốt chung pia đai cam lòng cam chẳng lai hay nào chia thua thầm kiếp kiềm mô chia thua ra bò nhà trông bà thôi chất đi cao chia thua ra bò phở thôi chân anh đi ra mình men chia ra bò đi ra bò phở tê anh tha sang hệ tàu mình pra cọp đôi pra giao lời dồ cha giang cái lá mà tha người vô cô thua na đai pra cọp đây lồng bạc đau luôn tàu khao chia hai nón ơi lồng bạc cài tô tê anh đi vào mình men chia ra bò đi vào bò phở tê anh ta sang hệ tàu mình pra cọp đôi pra giao lời tê khao thì khao về ô phô anh tê anh ô bát tiêm mẹ mai chê mía bà đê bà tia ta tha ca tê na phi sam phật thia cha khô ca ra này hia na ca ra này ô bát sa ma ya phanh nhẹ ya sam phật thia ya na pia nia ya sang và ta tê mà nia phi khó chẳng lai xây xây pra tê bát chia con ta mình liệt cho lâm thai anh ta thua chẳng lai phi giang nô ai đại ta tha con bàn tra tầng hai chia xây xây pra tê bát vừa ai cả pan nhà cha khó này cứ pra nhà vừa ai cả xây xây tầng ba pra con pro men pra prat tơ đàm bay xây xây ngọt rồng ngọt đàm bay xây xây tầng chồng cua đàm bay xây xây đàm thái pra bay đàm bay xây xây rồng lọt sông cả ta mai cha sa phi khao về mai chê mía bà đê bà tia ta tha ca tê na phi sam phật thia cha khô ca ra này nhia na ca ra này ô pa sa ma ya phanh nhia ya sam phô thia ya na pia nia ya sang và ta tê mà nia phi khó tăng lai có xây này pra tê bát chia cần ta đại ta tha con bàn tra đăng hải chia xây đây pra tê bát vơ ai ca pan nhà cha có vơ ai ca xây đây đăng ba pra có rồi men pra prat tơ đam bay xây đây ngọt rồng ngọt đam bay xây đây đăng chấm pua đam bay xây đây đăng thái pra bay đam bay xây đây rồng lót tổ lô ta đôi mà đánh ya mê và đi giao thang đi cao mẹ cô thang đi ca mẹ cứ khô thô chia plau miền ong pram bay đập ra xa ni ai hào tha xây cây pra tê bát chia cần đà say ya thay tiếng thang đi ca mẹ nô đôi mà đây là sam mà tên thế pra nhà dồ khơi trơ sam mà sang cáp bao xây cây trẻ đi trơ sam mà vía cha tầm đây trơ sam mà cam mình tao càng nghe trơ sam mà a chi vô kệ gia chỉnh chấm chi vật trơ sam mà vía như một chia diệm trơ sam mà sa tê xây cây rồi lắc trơ sam mà ti kệ gia trong con chân ai nâng trơ ai giang thọ sa phi khao về mai chê mía bà đê bà tia ta tha ca tê na phi sam phật thia cha khô ca ra này nhia na ca ra này ô pa sa ma ya phanh nhia ya sam phật thia ya na phia nia ya sang va ta tê mà nia phi khó chẳng lai thang ki ตั้งច្បាប់ប្រកបរមែងប្រព្រឹត្តទៅដើម្បីសេចក្តីស្ងប់រងាប់ដើម្បីសេចក្តីตั้งចំពោះដើម្បីសេចក្តីตั้งដោយប្រពៃដើម្បីសេចក្តីរំលត់តោពីទាំងខោបណ្ណាភិកវេតោខាងអរិយសច្ចចាំងជាតែបេតោខាជារិយបេតោខាជាទីបេតោខាមរណំបេតោខាងសោកបរិទេវតោខតោមនាសបាយាសាបេតោខាអបិយេសម្បយោកោតោខោបិយេវបយោកោតោខោយំបេឆាំលលបតិតំបេតោខាងសង្ខតេនបញ្ចបាទានខន្ធាតោเอวเมโสตังโสเทชมัวธรรมจากาปวัตนาโสคือขยมชมัวอานันต์บานสนามมอกขายยังเนธาเอกังสมยังพระกเวียเปียเรียนัสยังวิหารเตอิเสปตะเนมิกเตียเยสมัยมวยตะเมียนประเพียตรงตวงเดินប្រៃអិសេបតនមិកតិយវញ្ចន្ត្រងពេរិណស័យតាត្រកោភកវេបញ្ចវគិយេភិក្ខុអាមន្តេសេប្រដមានប្រភាត្រង់ត្រាហៅនៅបញ្ចវគិភិក្ខុទាំងឡាយក្នុងទីនោះឲ្យតាំងចិត្តចាំស្ដាប់នៅភាសានិថាទ្វេមេភិក្ខវេអន្តបបจิเตนะนะเสวิตาเปียมณีភិក្ខុទាំងឡាយអន្តតោគឺធម៌ជាផ្លូវប្រតិបត្តិអំខាងដ៏លាមួអក្រក់ទាំងឡាយពីរប្រការនេះបាបចិនមិនគួរសែបគំគឺថាមិនគួរប្រព្រឹត្តឡើយកតមេទ្វេអន្តតោទាំងឡាយពីរយ៉ាងនោះដូចមកដេញយោចាយ៉ាងកាមេសុកាមសុផលិកានុយោគោធនាដែលប្រកបខ្លួនឲ្យជាប់ជំពាក់ដោយកាមក្នុងកាមទាំងឡាយហើយណោជាធម៌ខោគៀបគៀមមកជាធម៌របស់អ្នកត្រមបថយចនិកោជាធម៌របស់ពុទ្ធជនអនរិយមិនមែនជារបស់អរិយបុគ្គលទេអនាថសញ្ញតោមិនប្រកបដោយប្រយោជន៍ឡើយយោចាយ៉ាងអត្តកលមថានយោគោធនាដែលប្រកបសេចក្តីលំបាកដល់ខ្លួនតោខោជាហេតុនាំឲ្យលំបាកកាយទទេអនរិយមិនមែនជារបស់អរិយបុគ្គលទេអនាថសញ្ញតោមិនប្រកបដោយប្រយោជន៍ឡើយអេតេខោភិក្ខវេឧបោអន្តេអនុបត្តិមមៃជេមេបដិបតិតថាកតេនអភិសម្បទាចាខុករណីយានករណីឧបសម្មាយភញ្ញយសម្បទាយនពានេយសង្វតតេមនាលភិក្ខុទាំងឡាយសេចក្តីប្រតិបត្តិជាកណ្ដាលមិនលាយច្រឡំដោយអន្តធម៌ទាំងឡាយពីរយ៉ាងនោះឯងដែលតថាគតបានត្រាស់ដឹងហើយជាសេចក្តីប្រតិបត្តិធ្វើឲ្យកើតបញ្ញាចាខុសផ្នែកគឺប្រាជ្ញាធ្វើឲ្យកើតសេចក្តីដឹងច្បាស់ប្រកបប្រមែងប្រព្រឹត្តទៅដើម្បីសេចក្តីស្ងប់រងាប់ដើម្បីសេចក្តីដឹងចំពោះដើម្បីសេចក្តីដឹងដោយប្របីដើម្បីសេចក្តីរំលត់សង្កតមាចសាភិក្ខវេមៃជេមេបដិបតិតថាកតេនអភិសម្បទាចាខុករណីញាណករណីឧបសម្មាយភញ្ញយសម្បទាយនពានេយសង្វតតេមនាលភិក្ខុទាំងឡាយក៏សេចក្តីប្រតិបត្តិជាកណ្ដាលដែលតថាគតបានត្រាស់ដឹងហើយជាសេចក្តីប្រតិបត្តិធ្វើឲ្យកើតបញ្ញាចាក៏ធ្វើឲ្យកើតសេចក្តីដឹងច្បាស់ប្រកបរមែងប្រព្រឹត្តទៅដើម្បីសេចក្តីស្ងប់រងាប់ដើម្បីសេចក្តីដឹងចំពោះដើម្បីសេចក្តីដឹងដោយប្របីដើម្បីសេចក្តីរំលត់ទៅនោះតាដូចមកដេញ กันดาไซยะไทยแดงอาจทางกิกะแม่โนโดยมาได้คลาสัมมาตันเทปราชญาโยเคยเตรสัมมาสังกัปเป้าใส่ใครแตรเอเตรสัมมาเวียจาสมได้เตรสัมมากัมมันเต้าขางเงียเตรสัมมาอาชีวะเกยาจินจำชีวัตเตรสัมมาเวียเยโมเจียเยี่ยมเตรสัมมาสเตใส่ใครรลักเตรสัมมาสมาธิเกยาต้องก่อจันอ้อยนังเตรอายังข่าวสาภิกาเวไม่เชเมียปะเดปะเตียตถาคเตนะอภิสัมปเทียจากทุกการในเนียนาการในอุปสมัยยะอภัยเนียจะสัมปเทียจะนับเพียเนียจะสังวัตเตมาเนียที่ข้อจังไรอาจทังกิกะเมียในไอแต่เท้าท่าใส่ใครปฏิบัติเจียกันตาแต่ตถากตปันตระดังหายเจียใส่ใครปฏิบัติเวออ้อยกาดปัญญาจากข้อเวออ้อยกาดใส่ใครดังปาประกอบตัวไม่ประพฤติตามไปใส่ใคงับระงับตามไปใส่ใครดังจำปัวตามไปใส่ใครดังได้ประไปตามไปใส่ใครรำลอดตกอีกอย่างข้าวปานาภิกาเวตกทางอริยสัจจังเจียแต่ไปตกข้าจะเรียไปตกข้าเจียที่ไปตกข้าวมารนำไปตกข้างเต้ากับปริเตวตกข้าโตมานาสปายาสาไปตกข้าอัปไปเยให้สัมปโยโกตกข้าวไปเยให้วัปปโยโกตกข้าวยำไปช่างและละปฏิตัมไปตกข้างต่างทัตเตนะปัญจปาเตียนักขันเทียตกเอวเมโสตังโสดเนชมัวธรรมจากาปวัตนาโสคือขยมชมัวอานันต์บานสนามมอกขายยังเนธาเอกังสัมยังพระกเวียเปียเรียนัสยังวิหารเตอิเสปตะเนมิกเตียเยสมัยมวยตะเมียนประเพียตรงตวงเดินคลองเปรอิเสปตะนะมิกเตียยวันเจนตรงเปียเรียนนาไสตาตระเข้าพระกเวียปัญจวัคคีเยภิกขุอามันเตเสประดเมียนประเพียตรงกระหาวเนาปัญจวัคคีภิกขุทั้งหลายครองตีโนอ้อยตั้งจันจันตามเนาเพียสันนิธาเวเมภิกขเวอันตาปัปปจิเตนะนะเสวิตาเปียมเนียภิกขุทั้งหลายอันตะตัวคือทอเจียเปล่าปฏิบัติอมข้างดอเลียมัวอักระทั้งหลายปีประการในปัปปจันมันกลัวแทรกกงคือท่ามันกลัวประพฤติลายกตเมตเวอันตะตัวทั้งหลายปียังโนโดยมาเดินโยชายังกาเมสุกามสุภัลลิกาโนโยโกทัวนาได้ประกอบคลวนอ่อยจวบจมเปียได้กามขนมกามทั้งหลายให้เน่าเจือทัวเขาเปียกเปียงโมเจียทัวระบอเนี่ยตรมป่าทอยจันนิกาเจียทัวระบอเปิดทอยจนอนาริยามันแมนเจียระบออริยบอกเปิดเตอนาถสังเหตามันประกอบด้วยประโยชน์เลยโยจายังอาจจะเกิดมาทานโยโกทัวนาได้ประกอบใส่ใจลมปากดาวคลวนตกเข้าเจียให้นอมอ้อยลมปากไก่ตัวเตอนาริยามันแมนเจียระบออริยบอกเปิดเตอนาถสังเหตามันประกอบด้วยประโยชน์เลยเอเตข้าวภิกขเวอุโภอันเตอนุปัฏฐัมมะไม่เชเมียปะเดปะเตียตถาคเตนะอภิสัมปเทียจากโคการในเฮียนาการในอุปสมายะเพ็ญเยยะสัมปเทียยะนัปเปีย สัมมายะอภัญญายะสัมโพธิยะนัพเปียเนยะสังวัตเตมเนียภิกขุทั้งหลายก็ใส่ใจปฏิบัติเจียกันตาแต่ตถาคตบานตราตั้งหายเจียใส่ใจปฏิบัติเวออ้อยกาดปัญญาจากก็เวออ้อยกาดใส่ใจดังច្បាស់ប្រកបរមែងប្រព្រឹត្តទៅដើម្បីសេចក្តីស្ងប់រងាប់ដើម្បីសេចក្តីដឹងចំពោះដើម្បីសេចក្តីដឹងដោយប្របីដើម្បីសេចក្តីរំលត់ទៅលោតាដូចមកតែងអាយមេវៈអរិយោអដ្ឋង្គិកោមគ្គោអដ្ឋង្គិកមគ្គគឺធម៌ដូចជាផ្លូវមានអង្គ8ដល់ប្រសានេះឯងហៅថាសេចក្តីប្រតិបត្តិជាកណ្ដាលស័យយថៃទាំងអដ្ឋង្គិកមគ្គនោះដូចមកតែងខ្លាសម្មាទិដ្ឋិប្រាជ្ញាយល់ឃើញត្រូវសម្មាសង្កប្បោសេចក្តីត្រេះរិះត្រូវសម្មាវាចាសម្ដីត្រូវសម្មាកម្មមន្តោការងារត្រូវសម្មាអាជីវកិរិយាចិញ្ចឹមជីវិតត្រូវសម្មាវាយាមោជាយាមត្រូវសម្មាសតិសេចក្តីរលឹកត្រូវសម្មាសមាធិកិរិយាតម្កល់ចិនឲ្យនឹងត្រូវអាយ៉ាងខោសាភិកវេមេឈិមាបដិបទាតថាគតេនអភិសម្ពោធាចាទុករណីញាណករណីឧបសម្មាយៈអភិញ្ញយសម្ពោធាយនពានេយសង្វតតេមនីភិក្ខុទាំងឡាយអដ្ឋង្គិកមគ្គនេះឯងដែលហៅថាសេចក្តីប្រតិបត្តិជាកណ្ដាលដែលតថាគតបានត្រាស់ដឹងហើយជាសេចក្តីប្រតិបត្តិធ្វើឲ្យកើតបញ្ញាចាខុសធ្វើឲ្យកើតសេចក្តីដឹងច្បាស់ប្រកបរមែងប្រព្រឹត្តទៅដើម្បីសេចក្តីស្ងប់រងាប់ដើម្បីសេចក្តីដឹងចំពោះដើម្បីសេចក្តីដឹងដោយប្របីដើម្បីសេចក្តីរំលត់ទៅពីទាំងខោបណភិកវេតោខាងអរិយសច្ចចាងជាតបេតោខាចរិយបេតោខាជាតិបេតោខាមរណំបេតោខាងសោកបរិទេវតោខតោមនាសបាយាសាបេតោ
like to pay my homage to the Triple Gem, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. My deep respect to Venerable Mahasangha, to our three venerable guest speakers, and welcome back Sister Natimon and Brother Chuni that are here in this special Pchum Dhamma discussion, this together in this platform. And again, thank you to all our Dhamma friends that are following us live right now. And usually this Dhammika Life Dhamma Sandhana program normally hosted on every Friday interchangeably at 8 p.m. Cambodia time and 6 a.m. Seattle time. However, today is a special topic on Pchum Festival. And the Dhammika Life had invited special speakers for this Dhamma talk. And as you know, today is Ben number 14, and tomorrow will be the final day of this celebrations here in Seattle, in the U.S. And so Pchum is one of the Cambodian traditional culture, which has been celebrated for far back along with the Buddhist religion. In the way of giving thanks and providing gratitude to the virtuous person, and also to show the gratitude to the ancestors that passed, celestial beings or unfortunate soul, such as Beta or bride we call it in Khmer. So I am so excited to host this special topic with Sister Jenny Chim on this special occasion. So Sister Jenny Chim and I are both from Seattle, Washington. Normally, Sister Chok Sapip and I, we moderate together. However, she's unable to join us this morning. So I'm happy to have Sister Jenny to join us. So to all our audience, please type questions on the comment box if you have any questions while we still have our guest speakers in the platform. So that way we can return your answers right away. And so before we begin our Dhamma discussion, I would give Sister Jenny an opportunity to introduce our special speakers to you. So Jenny, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Sampai Bangkong, and I'd also like to give my respect and homage to the Triple Gem as well, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. And I'm so happy to be here. And thank you again for inviting me to help moderate this discussion. Our guests today are, we've got quite a bit. We've got 5, correct? Yes, 5. We're starting off with Venerable Dhamma Sanghai. He's the executive director of Buddhism for Education of Cambodia, based in Battambang province. The organization aims at supporting Buddhist educational field by teaching Buddhist morality and human rights to children, youth, and people in general. Bante has been actively teaching literature and Buddhist principle to monks and also lay people, as the course are also live on social media. Then we have Venerable Sokdevi. He is the founder of Dhammaka Life Foundation, a non-for-profit organization aiming at promoting Buddhist teachings. Bante is leading and teaching Buddhism in English course to help Dhamma friends to better understand not only the English terminology, but also the Buddhist teachings. Bante's latest publication is Dhamma Terminology, which is a book that is a Khmer Pali, Romanized Pali, and Khmer English. Currently, Venerable Sokdevi is residing in Hawaii. Then we have Venerable Kasapat Hon Kamara, the director and co-founder of International Cambodian Buddhist Center, and David Rodrigo Child Development Center for Special Needs Children, Sri Lanka. Venerable Kasapat is a meditation trainer and also an interpreter for Vipassana Dura Buddha Center of the Kingdom of Cambodia. Venerable is currently residing in Kandal, Cambodia. Then we have Sister Kim Natimom. She is an educator at Panasastra University of Cambodia and founder of Women in Buddhism Association and Dhamma Education. The sister also owns her private tutoring services called Wisdom Tutoring, which is offer both in person and online. And Sister Natimom is currently residing in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. And last but not least, we have Brother Nom Chani, co-founder and lead trainer of Vipassana, author of a national best-selling book, Meditation for Energy of Life. He has also been a former monk for 16 years. In 2019, he devoted himself to run for Angkor Hospital for Children. He devoted himself to running Phnom Penh to Siem Reap in order to do fundraising for Angkor Hospital for Children. He's currently residing in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. And thank you all for joining us. And I guess I would like to just go right into it. And our first question is a pretty simple one, which is to explain what is Pchum Festival. I was born here in America, very Americanized, and went to the temple with my mom and dad and dragged. And, for me, going to the temple, it's still a lot of things that I'm not quite understanding. So, because everything at the Cambodian temple, even here in America, everything's done in Khmer. So it's really hard for me to understand what's going on. And sometimes it's really difficult for my parents to explain things to me. So I'd love to start off that question with, let's go with Venerable Sanghai. Can you go ahead and start the first question?
Okay, thank you. You said just simple question, but it seemed not simple. Okay, so my homage to the Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and my respect to Venerable Sangha, especially Venerable Kassapa, Venerable Tiawi, and hello to everyone, especially our guest speaker, Natimon, Chani, and also moderator, Sakon, and Jenny Jim. Okay. So, it's very great opportunity for me to share and join this talk show on our special occasion that we are celebrating right now, that is Kanban and Pchum. So, Jenny just asked me what is Pchum, right? So yeah, actually, just like Second Tim mentioned earlier, because it is our tradition and culture of our Cambodian festival. Actually, it's very important for all Cambodian Buddhists have to. I think it's not only for Buddhists, but for everyone who hold an Cambodian nationality should understand this festival. And we can say this festival or celebration express our identity as our Khmer, because Kanban and Pchumban, there is no in other nationality that believe in Buddhism, like Thailand, Sri Lanka, Burma. We don't have the same even celebration Kanban Pchumban, but we have only in Cambodia. So we all should be proud of our celebration. And as you understand that this celebration, as a Buddhist, actually we have to support the monks who live in pagoda. And this time we have 3 months for monks to observe the rainy retreat. So as a Buddhist, they have to to support them. So in the previous time, I mean in the Buddha's time, the Buddhist fellow always support for 3 months. But in our Cambodia tradition, our our ancestor, or I mean our tradition, we just celebrated only 15 days. So we express our gratitude to our ancestor who passed away, and to support Buddhist monk within 15 days. So you know, it's become our tradition because every temple celebrate in the same time, not different times. So not only in Cambodia but other country as well. I mean, for Buddhist community, Cambodian Buddhist community always supported this ceremony for 15 days. So this is Kanban and Pchumban. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, Venerable. Venerable Kamala, can you expound on Kamben? Like, what is the difference between Kamben and Pchumban? Is it the same thing, or is it something different?
Okay, so thank you very much, sister, for the question. So at the reception, let me pay my way to the Triple Gem, the Venerable Sirs, our two Dharma speakers, Venerable Hatsing and Venerable Sok TV, and Brother Chuni, Sister Timon, and the two moderators and friends in Dhamma around the globe. So yeah, before answering the question, I would add something, besides Venerable Hatsing highlighted.
Oh, Venerable, I think you're muted.
Okay, it automatically happened, right? Yeah. So yeah, technically, yes, there is a difference between Kanban and Pchumban. I mean, in terms of the terminology, in terms of activity, but in terms of religious activities, I mean, we practice the same thing. In the early morning, we chant the Parabhava Sutta and then get the blessing from the monk, and then people come to offer the breakfast and the lunch, and then the evening you listen to the Pirit chanting of the monk, listen to Dhamma talk. Like for the 15 days, religious activities are conducted in the same way, but it kind of like we take turn. Like first day, some people, some donors, they take turn. I mean, one day is for this donor, second day for another donor. But the final day we call the Pchum. It kinds of, I mean, technically the term is kinds of gathering, like a collection. All the people will come together on that day, and they will, practice. They will perform the religious activities together. That's we call like Pchum. But Kanban, like you have kinds of take turn. But this is the main difference between Kanban and Pchum. But for me, you are cultivating the same mental qualities as what about Hassing I highlighted. You cultivating for the 17 days. You are cultivating generosity, kindness, compassion, gratitude, veneration, and so on. So that's all from me, Sister Jenny.
Thank you, Venerable. And Venerable Sukdevi, would you like to add something to that? For you, what is Pchum Festival?
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, my homage to Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and greeting our Venerable monks, Master Kasapa, Venerable Master Hassing Hai, and Brother Chinny, Sister Natimon, and Sister Sakon, Sister Jenny, everyone. Greeting all Dhamma friends around the world. Yeah, we are celebrating Pchum Festival right now. It's still on day, I think it's day 14 it's a day 14 in USA right now. Probably day 14 has just passed for people in Cambodia. And like Honorable Hassing Hai already mentioned, that Pchum is the biggest Khmer traditional festival that we celebrate annually. And this festival is very unique for Cambodian tradition. We don't borrow it from any other culture. There's no any influence from foreign countries. So ourselves, we have this long ago back in history, especially during the reign of King Ong Duong. We see that this celebration officially practiced by the Khmer king and his subjects, and all the temple in Cambodia celebrate this Pchum festival in the same way, in the same flavor, in the same activities has been observed by Cambodian people. And then it started to influence to the Cambodian people in different countries, like in the United States of America. We also practice and follow the traditions that been observed in Pchum festival just the same way. Maybe just sometimes we cut off some small and minor religious activity, or maybe traditional activity based on the time we have in America is very limited. Like a lot of people have very tight schedule, going to work. So sometimes we just don't get to celebrate all kinds of activities that our people do in Cambodia. But nevertheless, we still be able to observe this Pchum festival wherever we are as Khmer. It always reminds us about, this very unique culture we have. And whenever Pchum coming, meet, myself also kind of missing home, missing everyone in hometown. And I could see that my family, they visiting, the hometown, and they post pictures on social media. It's kind of bring me back to the hometown and to the younghood life, So this is like a cultural reminder for everybody, regardless of wherever Khmer people live in the world right now. But we always, always brings back our attention to the hometown, the motherland where we born. So it's very important, cultural reminder in this Pchum festival. That's all I want to express. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. It's Venerable TV's brought out, all three Venerables brought out a really great point. Pchum, it is our tradition, and it also benefits to our society as well, because Pchum, that we have to go and purchase a lot of items, a lot of food, a lot of ingredients. So it benefits to the economics as well, economic society. And I wanted to ask our sister Nataman, how do Cambodian people celebrate Pchum? And then also I wanted to find out, how do you personally celebrate with your family?
Yeah, thank you very much, sister, for asking this question. And this is a great opportunity for me to share about Pchum Day as well. So first of all, I would like to pay my homage to the triple gems, the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Respected Venerable Soktivi, Venerable Hatsing Hai, Venerable Kassapa on camera, respect Brother Chimney and Sister Sakon and Sister Jenny, and good evening audience who are watching right now. So how people celebrate the Pchum in Cambodia. So a lot of people, they have holidays from their work, so they have time off from work, and they go to their provinces to celebrate the Pchum with their family. And what they do there is they offer food to their parents, and we believe that parents are the most powerful God. And yeah, so before we go to pagoda, we always have to offer food to our parents first, and then we offer food to venerable monks at the pagoda. And also in the early morning, they go to chant Parapavathot, and that is telling people what are the bad things that you do that can be harmful to them, so that it teaches them to not doing those kind of things. So these are something that people do, and for me personally, what I celebrate this kind of ceremony is for this year, I let my student at PUC offer some money to Venerable, and also we went to pagoda and offer some food and also flowers to Venerable. Yes, and after that, just yesterday I came to my province and offer some food and money to my mother as well. So, and yeah, because I don't go to my hometown for this holiday, so just come to my husband's hometown. So yeah, he doesn't have a father, so we just offer money and food to mother-in-law. So yes, this is what I personally do, and thank you so much.
Very nice. So hometown, your husband hometown, where's your hometown?
Yeah, I confused. Okay, my hometown is in Siem Reap, and my husband's hometown is in Prey Veng. So I come to my husband's hometown.
Very nice. So that's great. And Brother Chuni, how do you personally celebrate? You know I follow you and your lovely husband on Facebook, and so how and your wife personally celebrate Pchum? Could you share us this whole world, this beautiful couple?
Thank you, sister. Thank you. First, I would like to pay respect to the Triple Gems and respect to the three Master Hatsing Hai, Master Sok TV, and Master Camera, and Sister Natimon, and also Sister you yourself, and Sister Jenny. Also, good morning or good evening to the world. that I'm watching right now. Um, this morning I went to the temple with my parent and my wife. So with my parents' side, we offer money, we offer some food to the monk and the temple. And tomorrow I'm gonna go to the temple again, but different temple with my wife's parent. So right now, I think my mom-in-law is really busy right now because she prepares some foods and flowers and things. The whole family is busy right now. So I'm on my own at my apartment now, but my whole family is kind of busy with my parent-in-law because we prepare for going to the temple tomorrow. It's kind of excitement this year because I mean normally I was on my own and I only really go to my parents and offer some monies and some food for them. Then because I was in the temple for a long time, I don't really go to a lot of temple because I do believe that I don't need to go to 17 or 15 or 7 temple as people say, but I thought I can go to any temple, but my mind just like transmit or send some money to different temple and atatan, atatan in my heart or in my mind say that offer and refer to this name, all of those things. But this year is very different. And this year it's kind of excitement. I have a lot of preparation for my own parent and my wife's parents as well. So it was really fun this morning. We went to the temples and we actually, because in the temple there's a lot of people who are waiting to exchange their money. So you actually get the kind of a big cash, but then you can change to the small money, and then you go and give out to a lot of old people in the temple. It was quite to me it was quite grateful that I have a chance to do this thing, because and also seeing a big picture that people are very busy, but within this few days, people actually learn how to be kind, learn how to be compassionate, learn how to share, and learn how to respect, learn how to offer in order to us dedicated to our own ancestor or to whoever you were saying unfortunate soul that we spread to all of those spirits as well. But Sister Natimon was mentioning a very good point where our living parents like living God. So first, before we go to the temple, we actually offer food or money to our parents first. Then we can go to the temple with them. And normally, every time I visit home, I always sit down and pay respect, like kind of 3 times, 3 times to my mom or to my father, even on my wife's parents as well. So we did the same. So when she come to my parent home, she did the same, and when I go to her parent home, we did the same. So I think after I did that, I just felt very being humble. The more you give respect to others, the more you feel happy, and the more you feel like the respect is coming back to you. So every time I'm doing that, I just feel connected to myself and just feel so happy. So this is what I did today, and tomorrow again going to be in the temple. Thank you.
So thank you, Brother Jenny, for that great explanation. For me, growing up in America, what I've begun to learn is the role in veneration of parents in our culture. Something that you don't really you see it in America, but it's more very kind of artificial. And growing up as a Cambodian, we always were told to respect our parents, but how to do it is another thing. Giving gifts or money, but my dad, he's such a humble man, and so give him gifts, and he's like, oh, what do I do with this? And so it's been a tricky situation for me personally, as far as like giving veneration to my dad, because again, there's a language barrier, cultural barrier, being a Buddhist himself, and keeping things very minimal. I don't want to bombard him with more material things that he's just gonna like brush
I
aside.
think that's great. That's great, sister. Because a lot of time people see that in this modern time, a lot of young Cambodian, they kind of shy when they pay respect or twai mongkum to their parents, but they actually, when they go to the temple, it's okay to twai mongkum to Prasang, to the monk, but sometimes doing that to their own parent, they feel shy. So I think it's important for us to just kind of open up, and we respect to our parents as we go to the temple, and respect to the monk as well. So I think it's important to learn how to open up, and shyness, just keep shyness behind when that happens.
I just want to jump in a little bit, Jenny. Sorry. I am my admirations to you. Excuse me. My respects to our mom and dad. I remember the first time when I bow to my mom, I have tears in my eyes. And so it's very, very touching when you do that, to your own parents. It's easily to, respect to other elderlies, but when it comes to your own mom and your own dad, it's very touching. And so I just want to add that.
Yeah, it's just something that I think as children, I think it's very common to take our own parents for granted. So to be able to have a holiday that is not specifically to honor them, but definitely for us to pay respect with the aspect of it, but the action of bowing to them is something that I think more of us Khmer Americans should begin doing. But you're right, Brother Chuni, it is something that it's awkward. And I'd like to try do that more often with my father. I go to his house, I'm like, hi, Dad, very, very casual. All right, let's go to the temple. We sit with each other and things like that. But the formality is not there that I would love to be able to cultivate. Brother Trini, you touched a little bit on why you celebrate Pchum and the benefits that you get. And I would love to get Sister Nati Mom, would you like to share how you personally, why you personally celebrate it, and what is the emotional, the mental benefits that you get from performing these actions such as generosity and kindness?
Yeah, thank you, Sister Jenny, for this question. So why I celebrate this festival? So mainly the meaning of this festival is the gathering festival. So it is a great time for us to meet our family because of our busy schedule at work. So when we have festival, we can celebrate it with family. And also when I do that, I can remind myself that it's time to celebrate something good and to do some merit making for purify my mind and also to purify my bodily and verbally action. So I celebrate it because I want to celebrate something to gain merit, and also I celebrate it because this is our traditional celebration that we always do every year. So as a part of citizen in the country, I celebrated to continue preserve our culture to last longer. So this is why I celebrate it. And the benefit that I gain from this kind of celebration is I can learn something, like especially like today, when I come to share about this ceremony, I also can learn something from venerable speakers and also brothers and sisters. So this is kind of a great chance for me to share and also to learn from everybody as well. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Sister. Yeah, I find that this is a great opportunity for us to like put Buddhism into practice in our daily lives and remind ourselves of the teachings of the Buddha. Here in the West, the way that Buddhism is being spread and taught, it's more intellectualized, I guess you can say. Like, people go to learn about meditation, or people learn just like the suttas, but how to integrate that into our daily lives, I think, is a continual challenge for a lot of us Americanized people. And for me, when I go to the temple to celebrate Pchum or any time I go, it's more of just like reminding myself of like, oh, this is what joy and happiness is, because I am experiencing that when I see my elders that I haven't seen in a while, or the aunties in the community I haven't seen, and friends and things like that. And that brings me a lot of joy and happiness. And I try to keep in mind of that that mental state, because the Buddha teaches us that, you know, it's a very important state, at least to start off with too, you know, right, to calm the mind. This question is for any of the venerable that would like to kind of expound on the benefits of celebrating holidays such as Pchum, like how is this gathering of this of merit making with community, how do you think that benefits our community and our society in general? If any venerable would like to answer that question. Are we being shy? Is it a hard question?
What about TV? What about guys about? Okay, first. Now lady first already. Now man first.
Oh, man first.
You know, in Battambang, one of my activity every year, I always encourage the young generation, especially my student, because at my center we have more than 200 students. So we ask them to take a one kanban to offer the food to the monks. So we did that, and one of the remarkable event in this kanban day, that the monks in Battambang, also the student, we join together to cook the food, and we bring those food to the patient in hospital. As you understand it, in this occasion, people always go to the temple and meet the monks, kinds of making a merit for themselves and dedicate a merit to the ancestor. But the patient, they will feel like they lost something, or they don't have this time to join that event. So we understand that the monks go to hospital personally, so all the patients will be how to say, like joyful and warm to see the presence of the monk, and also get the food, get the blessing from the monks. So all this my activity to encourage all the students to cultivate the virtue like sharing and gratitude and unity. So all those things that I think we should develop and transfer to our young generation, so that the culture and tradition and Buddhism will prevail and promote it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. All this celebration, Pchum, I believe Pchum is one of the biggest celebration. A lot of Cambodian people don't miss Pchum. It's like no matter whether it's rain or rain, whether it's shine or rain, people cannot miss Pchum. And so I wanted to turn to Venerable Hat Sing Hai. What are the do's and don'ts in this festival?
Why me again?
You want to take a break? If you want to take a break, I can move to Venerable Hun Camera, okay. And then you can add later.
Give him more hot seat from Battambang. Yeah.
He's a master here, right?
Yeah, he's a master. He's a big master, so he can handle it.
The one who has the most giggles, the one who has all the questions.
For me, right? So,
Sure, yes, go ahead.
The question is what should we do and what should we should not do, right? Yeah, I think as our Buddhists and Khmer, we should preserve and conserve our tradition because tradition is very important for any nationality. So in the same way, Kanban and Pchum is so important for everyone, especially for the young generation. And I think the old generation also should play a very important role to observe this event. Sometimes, they go to temple just like individually, or they don't bring any children. So I think if we go to temple, should bring all the members of the family. And as you mentioned, discussed earlier, I noticed it's a very important point that the children should, pay respect and should think first to our parents as living God. And actually, monks and temples should be the second because our parents, they have done a lot of things for us, and they can bless us in everything. So if we forget our living God, the blessing will not come to us, because some people always want blessing from the monks. But I think the monks themselves, sometimes they don't have their own blessing. So but our living God have much blessing. Even the Buddha mentioned our parents as a Brahma or as Deva, as Arahanta. The term Arahanta is for one who eradicated all the defilement. But for our parents, they still have kilesa, they still have defilement. But the Buddha mentioned parent as arahanta because of the virtue. So when we fight bangkum, we pay gratitude to our parents, we will get a lot of blessing and spiritually calm, and good thing will happen to us. So this is the way that Buddha always encouraged all the young generation, all the people to follow. So actually, our activity in any tradition and culture for Cambodia actually maintain and have a lot of meaning to cultivate the good thing, like Kanban and Pchum. Actually, we can cultivate a lot of virtue like gratitude, unity, preserving culture, supporting Buddhism. Many things that we can learn and we can gain from our tradition, our Kanban Pchum. So thank you, and Sakon.
Thank you. And the Venerable Kasapat on camera, would you like to add on to what do you do? What is do's and don'ts in this festival?
Okay, thank you, sister. So I would like to add, first thing we have to understand the significance of the Pchum festival, not just only from the activities, because let me say this, we have to understand, even though you are studying Abhidhamma or practicing meditation, you have to be, open-minded when it comes to the rituals and rites in Buddhism. As Sister Jenny said, that, growing in United States, people are more inclined to practice meditation, to learn something that very logical, very intellectual, but but in fact, how to put them into practice is the big issue. But what I want to say is, what I mean, all the rituals and practices are conducted, during Pchum or during Kanban, are the way that to manifest our mental qualities, whether we can continue them or not. Like, going to temple, people might say, okay, you are wasting your time, you are wasting your money, you are wasting, the food. So there might be criticism why you don't sit at home and practice meditation, why you don't do that. So my answer is, in order to do so, you need kinds of, I call it a spiritual intelligence that to encourage you to do that. And because everything is the mental manifestation, through your activities, through your deeds, you show who you are. You cannot just sitting with the eyes closed, you say, I'm kind, I'm compassionate, I'm generous. No, it doesn't happen that way. Like that there's a statement that it takes time to say, it takes only a few seconds to say I love you, but it takes the entire life to prove that. So, like, in fact, in Buddhism, that is why we have 10 perfection. In order to attain enlightenment, practicing meditation alone is not enough. You have to practice generosity, and especially in Pali, we call it apachayana, paying homage, paying respect to the elders, your parents, your mom, your dad, your mom. So apachayana is a part of the spiritual enlightenment, spirituality. That's what I want to say, that young generation, do not forget that Buddhism is not only meditation, even we are emphasizing on meditation, but Buddhism is not only meditation. It's a holistic approach for spiritual care. So what I'm trying to say is, I have only 2 points: that you don't misinterpret, don't misunderstand, don't misjudge all activities of Pchum or Kanban from your own understanding, or from some critic, or or some ideologist that claim that Pchum is like that. What I want to suggest is, please study it more, not only its activities, but the morals or the spiritual qualities that you cultivate during Pchum. So I would say that people have a lot of issue how to have dinner, how to have lunch with mom and dad, like gathering, family gathering. I think Pchum is the greatest opportunity for you to have a family gathering, and not only sharing the food, but you are sharing love, you are sharing gratitude, generosity. Like you can, giving is not to be done with only the monks. You can done with anyone in your family. So Pchum, I think, is the opportunity to transform yourself, or to cultivate more mental qualities. So for me, I have only 2 points. Please don't misjudge, misconceptualize Pchum. You have to look at it from a very open-minded way. So that's all from me, Sister Sokon.
Thank you, Venerable. And Venerable Soktivi, would you like to add anything for the do's and don'ts?
Yeah, I would like to stress an emphasis on the significances of Pchum. Venerable Kaspa has covered somehow a little bit on the significance, and as we can see that we see there are 2 different types of significance that derive from Pchum itself. One aspect is based on culture, Cambodian culture aspect, and the other is the Buddhist aspect, with the religious significances. So we can see both of the significances played an important role in Pchum. It brings Cambodian people together to not just preserve the Cambodian culture, but it also, practice Buddhist teaching that long time, has been very strongly rooted in Cambodian culture. So it's kind of, culture connected with Buddhism. Like Honorable Gaspar was mentioning, we know that to practice Buddhism, we need to be consistent, So how are we to maintain our practice to be consistent? So we need some techniques in order to maintain our practice. No matter how we are busy, but we should be consistent in terms of the spiritual practice. So culture is a part of technique, a kind of reminder to our Buddhist practice. And no matter how busy you are in life, but when the Pchum comes, so it's like a cultural reminder. It's like a spiritual reminder. Hey, now it's Pchum. Make some time, go to the temple. Make some time visit family. Make some time. Bring food, offer things to your parents, to your grateful ones, and also make some time to think about your ancestors, those who passed away either long ago or recently everywhere. So this is like a time to reconnect not only to the living, but also to the dead people. So the special significance of Bon Pchum, I believe, in my idea, most importantly is based on the gratitude. Being Cambodian, especially as the children, we are very grateful people. Cambodia has a good culture where children always pay respect to their elders. Especially children are very grateful to their parents, to their grandparents and great-grandparents, forefathers and ancestors, even though they already passed. But we as a living young generation, we never forget. We always want to reconnect to our ancestors. So this is a very significant role that as a Cambodian children, no matter where you are, even you in America, in Australia, France, anywhere in the world, but always remember the gratitude of our homeland, of our ancestors, those who have devoted their life for the sake of the country and for the sake of Buddhism. So if I want to analyze a little bit into detail, we can see in the cultural aspect, the first thing, like I'm mentioning, is the sense of gratefulness from children to their elders. And on the other hand, also the sense of family gathering, like when Gaspar already mentioned, family reunions, and then the sense of solidarity. People come together, and so they can do something together, that makes everyone happy. Joining the celebration everywhere in the temple, people don't have the chance to see each other quite often, but during Pchum, everyone, everywhere, they come together. Some people, even they visited hometown from different countries, from Thailand, those who have, gone for work for such a long time. So they go back home, visit hometown, reunite with the family. And on the other hand, we also can see the significance of the cultural aspect based on how we promote our culture during Pchum, like wearing Khmer traditional outfit, sharing Khmer traditional food, nom on som, some law go, whatever. This is a time to promote our culture as well, that we've been observing from generation to another. And if we look on the other side, the religious significance, Buddhist significance, especially, it started officially practiced and observed during the reign of King Ong Duong in 1841 to 1844. So the king himself was very devoted Buddhist practitioner, that he not only practiced Buddhism, but also take this opportunity, integrate Pchum. The connection between Cambodian culture with the Buddhist practices is very strongly connected and integrated. So we can see like people have the chance to practice generosity, by bringing food, making an offering to the monks, skull, and dedicating merit to the departed ancestors. Those are the Buddhist or religious significances. And Rabbat, we have the alms offering to the Sangha, and we have the monks chanting, parita recitation, morning parapavasuta, the monk giving Dhamma talk. You have the chance to observe moral precept, undertake sila, and the chance to practice meditation, and also the chance that when you go to the temple, it's a sign of supporting Buddha Sasana, supporting Buddhism by providing full requisite to the monks, support the temple, any kinds of maintenance to the temple. So this is, Buddhist or religious significances that play important role in Pchum. That's all from me.
Thank you. And so Jenny, Pchum, what is, I know the Venerable Soktiv had mentioned, Nomum Som, it's a log of gold. Do you have a favorite dish that you usually bring to the temple, or a favorite dish that you really like? Because Pchum is like a gathering, celebrations with combinations of like a whole potluck, bringing all together. Do you have a favorite dish that you like?
Favorite a dish to bring to the temple? I find it funny. I'm starting to be more mindful and eye on like thoughts of like why I hesitate to bring food, and one of the reasons I hesitate is because it just doesn't compare to the elders. Like I don't make my food very often. So but the things that I love to eat is anything with bahok tea, any of that stuff, just because it's also like a great opportunity for me to eat a lot of vegetables too, because a lot of it is like dipping, right?
Definitely authentic, very, yes,
yeah,
very.
That's one of my favorites. Another one of my favorites, just brings back a lot of memory, is Nomasam Tudu. My mom always makes that like every year, and like the smell of the banana leaves and the smell of just that steaming up in the house always brings.
Right.
Making it this year.
Yes.
Not to bring the how it would turn out, but I wanted to try it. But it's a lot of work, and having two little babies crawling around on the on the floor and trying to get this thing that, I was just like, I'll just keep it simple. But I am bringing baba boat this year.
Oh, baba boat.
Temple this morning.
Very good.
And super delicious. Again, another one of those things my mom made as well, and I how to make it. I was like, wow, this is super easy. I can definitely try to make it. So that's what I'll be bringing to the temple this morning and tomorrow too. So hopefully it turns out okay.
And I just also want, very great. And so it's like Venerable Hunkaspa and Venerable Hat Sing Hai and Venerable Soktiv mentioned Pchum is part of gratitude, compassion, but the main and most important thing is that we can look as most beautiful as ever, but the most important part is the spiritual. Okay, like Venerable Hunkaspa say, spiritual intelligent, because if we there's so many people out there, crowd, make lots of noise, and then we're there to offer dana. The most important part is that you want to focus that, that you're sending the merits to. You want to focus on what you're doing. And so that's the most important part. It doesn't matter, how beautiful you look, how you respectful you, but it's all come inside. It's all inside of you. Okay. So, Jenny? Go ahead. So
I just this has been a great learning experience, hearing all these different perspectives. I'm definitely going to look at it from a different perspective, because Venerable Gatsapa, it's like you read my mind. I was a kid at the temple, and like all these food getting thrown out, what's so wasteful, what's the point of all of this? I didn't understand the rituals, and didn't understand the ceremonies, and that, I think that hindered, or it created an obstacle for me mentally to understand the culture. And so, some things in my life hit me, and I decided to learn about the Dhamma in a different way. I guess it benefited for me to learn it from an intellectual perspective, because all I got was the everyday practice. But, for my parents, they didn't put it in a way where it was just like, oh, we do this because we're Buddhists. It's just for them, it was like we just do this because it makes us happy. We just do this because it's good for us. But to see it from a psychological perspective and an intellectualized perspective, I began to finally see the benefits of, gathering together as a community. I see the changes within myself. My husband can definitely tell you the ways that I've changed in these last years, that I've dedicated myself to the practice, to learning more, and to also put into practice. And yeah, I mean, I never really thought of it. I didn't really see the importance of venerating our parents too. Venerable Sanghai, you mentioned that you should be doing that first, venerating your parents first before going to the temple. And I never really thought of it that way before. And so I just want to pay my gratitude for thank you for helping me see it in that way. And it's funny, I'm a parent myself, so of course I would love for my kids to generate and cultivate these qualities too. And now I kind of see why my dad is kind of like, oh, why are you doing this? Huh? Oh. Well, that's just the way he is. But I think that I would react in the same way if my kids was just like, here you go, mom, give me something. I'd be like, oh, cool, thanks. Then, all right, let's get on with our day. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting practice for me this weekend, because I'll be going to 3 different temples, and again, just kind of seeing where my mind goes to, and but also trying to keep I always feel good every time I go to the temple, but the tough part is when I step out of the temple and into the reality of parenthood, and all of that. I'm starting to learn how to bring that energy into my everyday life too, because what Venerable Kassapa, you mentioned, it's one thing just to tell yourself and sit in meditation by yourself, but you gotta, we live in the real world where we're interacting with all different types of people, and it's important to generate that compassion and kindness that you've been meditating on and cultivating within yourself. It's important to branch that out to other people. And so for some reason, it's always so much easier for me. It's easy to do that with other people, showing people kindness and respect. But, again, our family, we kind of just take that for granted. And oftentimes we kind of show the worst of ourselves with our family. So that's what I'm personally working on now. And I'm just learning about the bowing, how it's a sign of or it's a practice of humbleness. And I never really saw it in that way before. I learned about that from a previous Dhamma talk as well, about the importance of bowing and why we bow to the images of the Buddha, why we bow so much. And you're right, we see our parents bowing to the monks. We don't think to bow to our own parents. It's a practice that I will be definitely trying in my own life, and showing my kids that too, because I want to see my children see me bow to my own father, because they're some of them. I got a 2-year-old and he's doing the satuk to the baang, but he doesn't satuk very often to my dad, and I want him to do it, but then I don't do it myself. So, I got to put that into practice myself, right? If I want that for my children. So yeah, this has been a great opportunity to talk about these important cultural, it's a cultural aspect for us. And, I always wondered as a child why people always said, oh, Cambodian people are so nice. They're so generous. They're always smiling, and a lot of foreigners that I meet, that's their impression of Cambodian people. And I'm starting to understand, it's because we put the teachings of the Buddha into practice, and it shows in many of us. And I think that it's really important for us to carry that on, because the world is very chaotic, and with social media, and we see more of that chaos. it's important to keep ourselves mentally strong and healthy. And, the Dhamma has really helped personally me with that. But I want to go ahead and finish off with some last words. What would you like to give? I think Chini, Natimam, are you a parent too? Like, if you had any advice to that younger generation, what would it be in regards to anything that we've talked about today?
Yeah, thank you, sister. Yes, actually, I got married last year, but I am not a parent myself yet. Yes, but I'm going to be. Yes. So my last word for the talk show today is I would encourage all people in Cambodia as well as people Cambodian in the other country to celebrate this festival, because this festival means a lot to Cambodia, also means a lot to Buddhism, because it's kind of a festival that we gather together and to do some merit to generate the blessing to our relative who already passed away, like our ancestor. So we should do this, and also don't forget our God at home, who are our parents, our sisters. Jenny and Sister Sakon mentioned at the moment that if we want our younger generation, like our children or grandchildren, respect us first, we have to respect other people first, like especially our parents and our grandparents. So this is like a golden rule that if we want to be respected, we have to respect other people first. So yeah, this is my last word for this event today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sister. And Brother Chuni, do you have any last words regarding this as well?
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. I think Pchum Festival, one of the biggest, and also I mean the Tree Master already mentioned, but in a way that it's a time for us to give back. It's a time for us to pay gratitude back to the world, to the earth, and to our parent or to our ancestor. Because the world has been giving us so much, our ancestors have been giving us so much. So no matter how hard we work, no matter how busy we are, it's an important moment that we should slow down and celebrate this. If we can't make to our own hometown, we can't make to a temple where we were born within our own village, so we can go to any temple, or we can go to the closest temple where we're living. Then we can actually celebrate that with the monk over there, with the villagers over there. Pchum always remind alive when I was young, because I think one of the most important things is to learn how to give, to learn how to share. Because like this morning, when myself, my parent, and we all walk out of temple, they all walk out with a big smile. So I think we were very content with what they have done. And the last word, like Natiman was saying, no matter how big the ceremony we are going to celebrate in the temple, but don't forget our own parent, don't forget our own God. So do our own duty to our own God first, then we all can go to the temple and celebrate within the temple. This is life. I mean, this is life. This is happiness, and this is what we can find contentment within it. Thank you.
Thank you. And Venerable Gaspat Hongkampa, did you have a last message for our audience that we can take away?
Life is not meant to be easy sometimes. Yeah, sometimes there is ups and downs. But the thing is, what we have to balance is the materiality and spirituality. So we are too busy sometimes. We don't have time to get together with the family. Even we don't have time yeah, we make excuse that we don't have time to pay to visit our parent, our sibling, and so on. But I think Pchumban is not just the word. It is deeply rooted in Khmer people blood. So when you say the word Pchumban, it reminds you of a lot of things: your hometown, your mom, your dad, your ancestors, whoever has passed away. Your Khmer costume, food, dishes. A lot of things will come to your mind because of Pchumban. So, from my understanding, this is the ceremony. This is the festival for you to maintain your physical health, your spiritual well-being, your social well-being, your mental well-being. And it is a good education system to educate yourself and your son and daughter, learn how to be generous, how to be humble, how to be kind, and to each other. So for me, please preserve this and hand it over for next generation, because your daughters and sons, grandsons and granddaughters' life will be more chaotic than yours, will be busier than yours. So let them have time to enjoy their spirituality. That's all from me, Sister Sakon.
Sadhu, sadhu. And Venerable Hatsing Hai, do you have any special words, last message to our audience and to us? Thank you.
Thank you, Sakon. My last word is simple. I want to say happy Pchumban Day to everyone, especially our special guest speaker today. So I think we should not say just only happy Pchumban Day, but we should develop the happiness in our life. So how to make our life happy? So just doing good thing, cultivate meritorious deeds. So Kanban Day, Pchumban Day is the great opportunity for everyone to cultivate all those qualities to get ourselves happiness. So thank you and wish you all the best in this Pchumban Day. Happy Pchumban Day. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu. And we would like to have a last word from Venerable Saktivi, from our founder.
Thank you. My last word would be to just reflect upon what you have been learning throughout the Bon Pchumban. There should be a knowledge that you can gain, when you celebrate Pchumban each and every year, so that we can see the progress. We're not just joining to enjoy the food or to enjoy the dances in the temple or whatever that you can experience during the Pchumban, but the importance is to see your progress when you join each and every time. Do you gain any knowledge? Do you learn anything from the celebration? So this is so important that you can take this knowledge into your daily application and be able to teach to our young generation. And to me, I think Bon Pchumban is a good way, it's a good culture to reconnect with the dead and to reconnect with the living, and to be able to teach to the young generation, especially in foreign countries, Cambodian people who born in the foreign lands like America. It's hard to bring them to the temple. It's hard to show them our culture. By just saying alone, it's not enough. That's why we need to have evidence. We need to have such a celebration like Pchumban in order to tell them, okay, this is our good culture, and what are the good things we have during this celebration is so important. We show our children, our young generation, we have beautiful Khmer costumes, outfit, and we have tasty food, and we have a good culture of respect with our parents, where we cannot find, like in America, we don't have that kind of cultural respect. We bow down to the parents at the feet of our own parents. This is something very rare to be found in the world. So we should preserve this good culture of our Cambodia. And on the other hand, I would like to connect with the Buddhist practices as well, because during this
celebration of Chumban, we see the cultural aspect and also the Buddhist aspect plays very important role. So let me just say the last word. Suppose if we have the container where we put the food and then we taste the food. So this is like the 3-step. So culture in the same way is like the container of the food, where the food is like the Dharma, and where tasting is like practicing the Dharma. So let's put them together. Let's mix them together. We not only have the container to put the food, but we also have the chance to taste the food, and then it makes our life happy. In the same way, culture is like container to put anything, right? We have the good Cambodian culture, and then we receive the Dharma, the teachings of the Buddha into our land. So we use culture to connect with the practice of the Dharma, and when we practice it, we enjoy the benefit of happiness. So happy Pchum Day to everyone in the world. Thank you so much.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I love that container analogy. Thank you, Venerable TV. So before we end our live shows, I'd like to share the merits from this Dhamma sadhana with all living beings in the whole universe. May all be happy and peaceful. And once again, thank you so much to our honorable speakers for sharing with us today. And finally, I'd like to express sincere thanks to the Mega Life team for supporting us, founders, directors, advisors, members, admin, technical support team. And last but not least, thank you for everyone for joining and following our live show as always. So now, let us spend a few minutes practicing Metta Bhavana, loving kindness meditation, which will be instructed by Bhante Gasapat on camera.
Hello everyone. Let us practice loving friendliness meditation for oneself. Self-loving friendliness meditation is the first section of Metta meditation. Self-loving friendliness meditation is designed to direct you to happily take care of yourself, to honestly forgive yourself, to truly accept yourself without conditions. Before starting, please find a very comfortable posture. Close your eyes. Relax your head, your shoulders, your arms, and your entire body. Please slowly take a very deep breath 3 times. When it is done, let your breath flow as naturally as it does. Observe your breath without judgment, reactions, and criticism. Just merely observe it as the way it is while you are listening to my Pali Metta chanting. aham Sukhi attanam pariharami. Now, please create a very tender smile on your face. Visualize your happy and smiling face. You are very happy person with smiling face. Please keep smiling with honest heart because you are going to bless yourself. Please be aware of the phrases which I am going to recite and let yourself honestly feel the real meanings of the phrases. May I be well and happy. May I be free from hatred. May I be free from ill will. May I be free from anger. May I be free from physical and mental sufferings. May I take care of myself happily. May I take care of myself happily. May I take care of myself happily. Now, take your right hand and place it on your chest, and you can mentally repeat after me. In this home, we are family. We live under the same shelter, so we must be kind to each other, be compassionate to each other, be friendly to each other, help each other, respect one another. Be happy every day. Keep smiling with honest heart. Be grateful. Be positive. Forgive even when it's really hard. Before open your eyes, please take again a very deep breath 3 times. Thank you. May you be well and happy.